Yeah, so after, who was it? Oliver came Pierre. Ooh. Pierre I met on Bumble. So that's when I started going full on Bumble. And like I said it before, Bumble is the place to be. A lot of professional men, good looking men. Oh, but it's gone down a bit right now. I don't know. But okay, Bumble. I was just all over the Bumble streets. With Bumble, I could have gone on a date every single day if I chose to. That's how hot the Bumble streets are, you know. So with Bumble, if I say you know one more time, you can stab me with a blunt knife. Ooh. So with Bumble, the first person I went on a date with was, yeah, we'll call him Pierre. He was a black French guy, French speaking guy. And, you know, he was tall, dark, and handsome. Just a stallion, black stallion, a Clydesdale, you know. So with him, yeah, I think we just talked for a week, and then he was like, "Oh, do you want to meet on Sunday?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "Okay, cool." And then Friday, that was the last time I spoke to him, where he confirmed the date, etc. So Sunday, he didn't say anything, or even Saturday evening. So Sunday, I just I was with my girls, and then as in my daughters, and then I took them to the father's place, back to the father's place for the week. And I just went to the mall after. So you can imagine how I was looking. I was just in tracksuit, no makeup whatsoever, not even mascara, because I never leave the home without mascara. I don't like makeup, but mascara I will put on. So I had to go to the mall to get something. So this is like, I think 2 o'clock. He sends me a message. He's like, "Where are you?" This is a bit after 2. You thought I was running late, I guess. He said, "Where are you?" I didn't know we still had the date. Didn't confirm. And he's like, "Oh, what kind of men have you dated?" Well, I can't even do let me forget the accents. He's like, "What kind of men have you dated where you need confirmation all the time? We confirmed on Friday. Why would you think I'd change my mind? I'm here waiting for you at," I forgot what the place was called. So I thought, oh, I don't have time to go home, because the place was in Kensington. I thought, I don't have the time to go home and change and this and that. So I just decided to buy mascara, just the cheapest mascara I could find at Superdrug, you know. But I had shades on, so my shades covered my face, and we put the mascara on later when it was getting, you know, dark, because we spent the whole day together. So I did that, jumped into an Uber. We arrived at where he was just before 4 o'clock, 3:30, 3:40, around there. So he'd been waiting for a while, you know. And even imagine waiting for that long for someone in a tracksuit, sneakers, no makeup. I mean, that's not fair. That wasn't fair at all. So I even sent him a message, and I said, "Oh, I hope you're drinking, having fun without me, so that by the time I get there, you're just like tipsy and you really can't see my looks, you know, because they say that alcohol makes everybody look good." And he's like, "No, it's all about the heart. I don't care about looks." Oh, say more. Say more, mister, say more. So, I don't like this part showing, but anyway. So I get there, and yeah, I always say, always have a pair of fabulous sunglasses, because with those, no matter what, you still look like, you know, it's still like something going on. So I get there, and it was a patisserie. I think that's how you say it in French, patisserie. In English, it's patisserie. Patisserie? Yeah, patisserie. I'll just say patisserie to make it easier for myself. So I get there, and I just thought to myself, patisserie? Obviously, there's no alcohol. I'm here to order what? Dessert and coffee? And I just thought to myself, okay. But then there he was sitting outside. He hadn't ordered even anything for himself. He had just been sitting there waiting for me. And let me tell you, like I said, he was tall and dark and everything. So he was like, "Oh, what do you want to drink?" I mean, what else am I going to drink? A latte. I was like, "Oh, I'll have a latte." mean, what else can I do? Circumstances. So he ordered the coffee to go, but then we sat down for a little bit because the place was it was closing at like 4:30, I don't know, around there. I mean, yes, those places should close early because we're not trying to be there for that long. Oh, jeez. So, and I remember he was saying to, I don't know if the guy owned the place or if he was the baker. There's a name for bakers, I think. That's more sophisticated than baker. I don't know. And so he was saying to the guy, I had it might have been cheesecake last week. And I'll say that it was 90% right. There's this place where they know how to make cheesecakes. I would suggest that you go there and try the cheesecake, What? So, and then the guy was like, oh yes, I will go. And then he was like, my standards are so high. I don't want things that are not 100% perfect. Go on. Who does? And he was basically saying he doesn't really date black women. Okay, black man, do what you want to do. And I was the first in years that he's gone on a date with. His last girlfriend, I think, was Chinese. They lived together maybe. And then he said, he has crushes on black women like Rihanna and Beyonce. And I said to him, so with black women, for black men to qualify as crushes, you have to be a Beyonce or a Rihanna. Okay. But I didn't have a problem. I mean, whatever. I wasn't that invested in him. And so he said, let's go for a walk. Fine. We went for a walk. And we walked. Went down South Kensington High Street, and what I'll have to say is that a lot of people are looking at us because here's this. I mean, he was wearing this blazer. I mean, it's a Sunday, but he put an effort. I mean, there I was, and just whatever I was wearing, and he was like tall, and he had this umbrella, this nice umbrella in case it rained. He was looking really suave and sophisticated. And here you hardly ever see black couples. Like seriously, it's usually a black man like that you'll see with a white woman usually, And so I think people were looking like, what are you doing, black man with a black woman? And I was just there like, yes, I am with this handsome, tall, walking, talking, drinking the coffee. And then we went, we walked through the park, went through Kensington Gardens, at the Kensington Hotel. Drinks, and it was like, oh shoot, the walking has stopped. I swear we had walked for a long time. This man loves walking because I remember Pierre telling me that when I finally got to the place, he told me that he had walked from the Savoy because he was having breakfast at the Savoy. He had walked from the Savoy to South Kensington. Who does that? And so he was willing to keep walking. His long walk to freedom. That's what I liken it to. I mean, Mandela's long walk to freedom wasn't that long. We were walking. So fine, we get to the Kensington, and at this point, okay, it's getting dark. So I just went to the restroom, put some mascara on, and there was nothing else I could do. That was just the best I could do. Take it or leave it. And so I ordered a glass of wine. He ordered one as well. And I think, yeah, he loves going to hotels. He doesn't like restaurants. He just prefers hotels because he says the service is better at hotels than at restaurants. Like the restaurants inside hotels are better in terms of service. The hospitality is better. So fine. At this point, I'm hungry. All I had was a latte. Now we're at the Kensington, and we're just ordering drinks. Okay. So he ordered one. I ordered one. They came. We drank. And then I was ready to order another one. And then he was like, do you want another one? And I said, yes. And then he was like, well, let's just go to another place, a different place, and not here. Let's have a drink somewhere else. And he also said he doesn't see the point of drinking more than one glass of wine, You don't see the point of drinking more than one glass of wine. If that was a red flag, like, oh, this is not going to work. It's never, ever, ever going to work. You do not see the point of what? Having more than one glass of wine? I mean, that's when I thought, okay, all this time, the things that he was saying, I just thought, oh yes, we have the same values, etc., etc. And I remember, well, at some point he said to me, his ex-girlfriend, well, he was seeing a woman who had 2 daughters, and he likes the fact that I have children. He likes children, and not a lot of men like, really dating women with children. And I thought to myself, what do you think I am? A dog or a cat at the RSPCA, at a shelter, waiting to be picked up? Like, oh, please, sir, take me home. I'm just a homeless, abandoned dog. No. So that I didn't like, as if he was kind of like doing me a favor in terms of, oh, I like children. You don't have to like children. You don't have to like my children. The way that my life is set up is that the father of my children wants no men near his children. Okay, so I'm not looking for a replacement father. He's totally involved in their lives. And if anything, yes, obviously the person that I end up with has to like my children at some point, but in the beginning, don't even mention my children. Let's just talk about us. Okay, so that was one thing that I kind of didn't like, as if he thought that I'm just gonna be like, oh, he loves children. Oh, this is great. No, I don't care. I'm not here for the children. So this is not about the children. The children are not the future in this. I'm the future in this. So, what was I saying? Okay, so we left the Kensington, and then we started walking. He's like, don't you just love walking? My favorite thing is walking through cities and, stopping at cafes. Well, I wouldn't mind walking through cities if we were stopping at bars, okay? What is it, pub crawling? That I don't mind, but not where we're just walking, talking and walking. I mean, I'm over it by now. And then fine, I was just like, okay, I'm hungry. So then he just started talking about that whole thing of how he doesn't like restaurants. But we ended up at some restaurant, and jeez, he was so rude to the waitress, because the waitress was explaining that the food there is like small portions, almost like tapas type. And then he was like, we know you don't have to explain anything. And I was just thinking, how do you know? You've never been here before. And I mean, that's what I was thinking, but he was very rude, like, listen, just don't talk to us. So yeah, so we ordered, and then I mean he was like a tall, big black guy. He ordered like just a few things, and I thought, okay, I don't know if he's in a budget or not. So I just ordered a few things as well. I mean, I was still hungry at the end of it, but looking at him, I thought that he ate. You know, I didn't think that he was a nibbler. And yeah. Oh, before we ended up there at that restaurant, we stopped at one of these places, dessert places. I could tell there were lots of like Arabs, so I knew that there was no alcohol there. So we sat down, and 'cause they love their desserts and sweet things and puddings. They really do. So we were there, and I just looked at it with hope. I hoped that there would be alcohol, but I knew there wouldn't be. There was no alcohol. What are we gonna do? Drink lattes again? And they were just sweet stuff, you know. I prefer savory to sweet, and I just said, let's just go. But the decor was really nice. It was a really nice place, but I said, nah, I don't want to be here. I really don't. And so that's when we ended up at the other place where he was rude to the waitress. And then after that, after dinner, we walked. This was like almost midnight, and I'm not kidding. We're still walking. Still walking. We ended up in Holland Park, I think. Fine. After that, we said our good nights, blah, blah, blah. And I just ghosted him. Because my feet actually bled for like 2 weeks after all that walking, believe it or not. But then after 2 weeks, I thought, you know what? Let me tell him in person why I ghosted him, because he was a nice guy, besides how he treated, you know, the waitress. So I sent him a message. I said, oh, do you mind meeting? I want to explain to you in person why I ghosted you. And he was like, okay, fine. Let's meet in Holland Park. I guess he lives in Holland Park. So get to Holland Park. This is like during the week, lunchtime. He was free around lunchtime. You're free around lunchtime, but you want to meet at a coffee shop, huh? Not even a restaurant? Fine. I'm just like, okay. So we go to, so I arrived at the coffee shop, waited for him. It was one of those where you have to order the coffee. You have to go and order the coffee and sit down. Yeah, get your coffee and sit down. And I mean, I wasn't going to do that. The only place that I'm going to do that is Starbucks or Gale's. Any other place, I'm not standing there ordering coffee. You know, I need to be served. You need to take me to a place where I'm served, okay? So he came. He was like 15 minutes late or so. So he came and he asked me, oh, have you had your coffee? Have you ordered your coffee? And I said, no. And he looked visibly irate. You know, I could tell that he was irate, and he was like, okay, what do you want? And I said, a latte. So he went, got the drinks, and he came. There were people sitting next to us, and he said, no, I don't want to talk with people so close to us. Let me go and see if there's seating outside. So he went outside, there was nothing. And then he was like, let's take a walk. That's why I'm here, because that's the very reason why it didn't work between us, because of all this walking. He was like, no, Holland Park is just around the corner, let's just go there. So we walked to Holland Park, drinking our coffee, get to Holland Park. The first bench that I saw, I said, let's just sit here. And he's like, no, let's keep walking. Let's keep walking. Jeez. So, fine, we sit down, and then I told him the reason I ghosted him was that there was just too much walking. My feet bled for like 2 weeks. Literally, like 2 of my toes were like bleeding nonstop. Not nonstop, but they were bleeding every day. When I would take my socks off, there was just blood on them. And then he said, nah, that's impossible. That's not true. He didn't believe me, you know. So fine. And so, yeah, so I was just there looking at him. And then he was like, oh, it intrigues me the way you look at me. I always wonder, because you look at me with such passion. And I was just there thinking, actually, I'm just looking at you, trying to figure out what you do for a living. I mean, what's going on with you, all that walking. What kind of a person are you? That's all I was thinking. And so I had to go get back to pick up my girls from school. So I was just like, okay, need to catch the the next tube, the next train, need to get out of here. And he's like, okay, let me walk you to the station. Cool. The shortest way was the way we came, but no. It's like you totally forgot what I said about walking. He wanted to take the long way to the station. He wanted to hold hands while we were walking. Fine. That was that. He gave me a hug. Fine. So he sent some messages, but I didn't respond. I didn't feel like responding. And when I did respond, he was like, oh, you know what? The other day I went out with a friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine, a female friend, and when the bill came, she didn't want to pay for her part, trying to take advantage of my being such a nice guy. And I paid, but I told her that next time she's going to have to pay for herself. Now, this story didn't make any kind of sense to me, I could tell. I wasn't born yesterday, okay? I wasn't born yesterday. I could tell that he was just telling me this story. I don't even know if it's real or not. As far as I'm concerned, it was made up. So I think he was trying to say to me that when we went out the first time, he paid all the way. And then even when we met up again, I didn't even order my own latte. I waited for him to order it for me. I think that's what he was thinking. So he was just trying to say, you know what, women have to go 50-50 sometimes. And I was like, oh, I'm not that woman. I'm not doing it. I told him that. I said where I come from, and this is how it is where I come from. I don't know if it's changed, but all I know is that in Southern Africa, and I'm saying Southern Africa, I'm talking about Botswana, Lesotho, and South Africa, when you go out with a guy, it's standard. The guy is paying. You don't even question. You don't wonder who's paying. Are we going to split the bill? I even have to contact one of my male friends in Botswana to ask him about this whole thing about going 50-50. Is it happening? And he's like, yeah, right now it's happening a bit where I'll go out with a woman and she'll insist on paying half their part of the bill. And I was like, oh, I'm not getting on that train, on that bus. I'm not, I'm not. I will when I want to. It's not like I can't do it, but I'll do it when I want. I've done it before, I think, once or twice in my life. I've done it by choice, whenever. I don't even want to talk about the circumstances, but it was one of those situations where I was, I knew that the guys at the time, the young guys, I was in cougar mode, the young guys probably had less money than me, so, I'll pay, I'm not doing anything else. I'm paying because I want to be out with your fine behind, eating, enjoying, whatever. But don't ask me for anything else because you're not going to get it. That's not going to happen, okay? I'll pay for the meal. But even now, as a cougar, let's say if I date a younger person, a younger guy, a younger man, I'm not going to pay. I'm not doing it. That's not happening. But I did do it whenever, but I'm not doing it. So I just said to him, nah, I'm not doing it. And so we had this whole conversation where he was telling me about how he comes from a family where there are strong women, the grandmother, mother, sisters worked hard, they contributed to the family, this and this and that. And I said, that means you're looking for, I'm not the one you're looking for. Basically, I'm not the one you're looking for. If you're looking for a business partner, if you're looking for the help, no, I'm not the one. I want to have the option of staying at home if I want to and raising the kids, of being a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to hustle. I don't want to be out there working hard, this and this and that. I will when I want to, but as a woman, I want the option of staying at home and raising the kids and taking care of the home. Okay, and it seems as if some men don't give women that option. A lot these days, they start talking about, what are you bringing to the table? Nothing. Okay, just bring me. And if that's not enough, that's okay. You can move on to somebody else. Because I know with one of my girlfriends, I even called her about this. she was working and she didn't like, I mean, she's a married woman, and at some point, the people that she was working for were not treating her well. And her husband said, then don't work, just stay at home with the children. And she got mad, like, I don't want to stay home, I want to work, blah, blah, blah. But, she did quit her job, and now she just freelancing, doing artistic stuff. She just, works when she wants to, because her husband just said, you don't have to do that. Her husband bought her a car, everything, takes care of all the bills. Mostly, I suppose, I don't know what the husband takes care of, but basically that's the role that they're in, and I said, that's the perfect one. Don't come to me and talk about, what am I bringing to the table, this and this and that. I need to work. I'll work when I want to. And I do want to work, on my dreams. But I'm not going to be a business partner. But I want the rewards of that business. Ooh, I'm so bad. I'm not so bad. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Ooh, jeez. Don't come at me. I'm kidding. So with him, I just thought, no, I'm not interested in a man who thinks like that I don't have the right to stay at home. I should be out there working as well. I said, I come from that kind of family. I mean, back where I'm from, the women do work as well. It was usually just expatriates where the women would just stay at home and the husbands went to work. But with us, our mothers did go to work. And the funny thing, I was surprised that here, when I used to get together with these ladies from church, they were all stay-at-home moms, and I thought they were uneducated because they were stay-at-home moms, so they had no other choice, only to realize after some time that they were all educated, they all had jobs, but once they had children, they decided to stay at home, and then the husband just supported that lifestyle. Okay? Yes, they have the option of staying at home or working. Yes. I think probably this man was looking for a Proverbs 31 woman, No, not this one. I'll tell you which one was looking for a Proverbs 31 woman, not this one. So he stopped talking to me. I stopped talking to him. I really didn't care. And then weeks later, he sent a message, hey, do you want to get together? When are you free? Why? And make me pay my way. Oh, I'm not going. And let me tell you, if I go on a date with you and you expect me to pay, like, it's never discussed, right? And let's say at the end, I've imagined this scenario where the guy says, oh, you need to pay your half. I'll just play it cool and say, oh, no problem. Let me just go and powder my nose in the restroom. Look, I'm not coming back. I'm not. Maybe I will. Can't run. I'm kidding. I won't run. I'll pay my half and never speak to you again and just keep it simple. So yeah, so even with him, I think sometime this year, a few weeks ago as well, he keeps sending messages, oh, let's meet. But what's the point? There's no point. But with Pierre, what I did learn was that I'm not going to compromise the kind of lifestyle that I wish to live. As much as he was just, tall, dark, and handsome, and whatever, it just wasn't going to work, because he was going to expect me to work against my will as well. So, no. And I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate for a man that says they love children. I did learn that about myself. And I just did see that I can stand up for what I believe in, what I value. And yeah, and I can just let that good-looking black Frenchman go just like that. Okay, another break and I'll come back. All right, I'm like so tired, but it's fine. Don't say this is not hard work. This is hard work. Talking is hard work. So the last guy was who? Pierre. Okay. After Pierre, then there was the American guy. The American guy who's Black American. He had just moved to London. before that he was living in Australia, I think. Yeah. So he just moved to London and he was here for some conference at first. So he was just in London for a little bit and he was supposed to go to Greece and wherever after, and then he was going to be back now in London. So with him, he was staying at some hotel. I'm not going to enter the name. So we met at the hotel, at one of the restaurants at the hotel. With everyone, let me say this, with all the guys that I go on dates with, they have to tell me first where they want to take me, and then I have to vet the place. I'm not just coming out the house, okay? I'm not just coming out the house to meet you wherever, all right? I'm not doing that. So at least the hotel had a Michelin star restaurant, and I thought, okay, fine, we can do the restaurant at the hotel. And I don't think I'd ever heard of the restaurant before that, so I was like, let me Google it. And I thought, okay, Michelin star, fine, I can do this. I can come out the house. Fine. I met the guy, I see him. He was my height. I don't even know how tall I am. I might be 5'4", I might be 5'5". I don't think I'm 5'6", I might be 5'5". I think so. He was my height, gave him a hug, like we're literally, and I wasn't wearing heels. Another thing I don't do, I don't wear heels to dates. I just come in flats. I'm not trying to. It takes a lot for me to wear heels. Maybe if I'm going out with the girls, I might wear heels because you'll never know what will happen. But on a date, I'm usually in flats. I'm usually in loafers or sneakers, and that's that. That's the best I can do for you, sir. Especially when I put loafers on, you know I've tried. So we went to the restaurant and it was a good time. The restaurant had a good vibe and, you know. Date and you see like other good looking men and you're just like, what am I supposed to do? Like just a group of single, well I don't know if they're single, but you're just like, how can I tell them that we're not a couple, I'm just here on a date? I mean, I'm sure it happens to guys where they're out with women and they see a hotter or more attractive woman and they're like, what can I do? How can I get out of here, out of the situation? So with him, it's funny because I think he was in like a Hawaiian type of shirt. I was like, when are you in Hawaii? Why are you dressed like that? He had no sense of style at all. No sense of style. What? We're not in Hawaii. We're not in Miami Vice in the 80s. Okay, not even the latest Miami Vice. We're not in Miami Vice in the 80s. So, okay, fine, we went to the restaurant, and yeah, the food was good, the company was good. We had a good time, and with him, what I did learn was that, okay, I'll call the American guy Will. So with Will, what I did learn was that it's not about what's on paper. Because on paper, I mean, he was short, he was my height. In terms of his career, I think he earned some, but not earned, he owned, I'm going down, slowly but surely. He owned some media company where he did luxury content, something like that, you know, something where I'm just like, do you pay bills? No, but then I'm kidding. So we had such a good time, and I really loved that I went on a date with him because, like I said, I did learn that it's about what the heart feels. It's not about it's not about uh, it's not about what you wrote on paper, because he wasn't tall, but I still liked him. He had no style, but I still liked him, you know. So yeah, so I'm glad I went on a date with him, but he was going to Greece the very next day for like 2-3 weeks. And so, you know, mama doesn't have that kind of time to be waiting around. Yeah, because I remember he contacted me when he got back from Greece, but then I thought, nah, don't contact me while you were there. What do you think this is? Forget it.